BBC Newcastle, radio for the North East. But right now, since he shot to the top of the charts after winning X Factor, South Shields' Joe McElderry's feet have barely touched the ground. If he's not opening a community centre in Elsick, he's winning pop star to opera star, and now he can be found heading towards the arena in Newcastle in May, actually, not as a solo star, but as part of a musical celebration of one of the greatest TV shows ever. After our show yesterday afternoon, I caught up with Joe McElderry again. First of all, I asked Joe if he'd enjoyed taking part in the Sports Relief Mile on the Quayside in Newcastle. That was on Sunday, wasn't it? Joe McElderry.
The atmosphere was great down there. The weather was fantastic. And, I think it's good. It's just, it raises lots of money for everyone.
Will you be doing the Great North Run this year again, Joe?
I don't know. I haven't committed yet. I've been asked about 3 times, and I'm a patron for the Teenage Cancer Trust, so they always want me to do it every year.
What's stopping you?
Well, I'm recording the new album at the minute, and around about that time, it's going to be really busy because it's going to be leading up to the release of it. And I'm just frightened that I'll commit to it now when I've got a bit because when you're recording you get into a bit of a routine. So you can get up every day, you can go for a run, then you go to the studio and you know where you're going to be. Whereas I'm frightened I'm going to commit while I'm doing this, then it's going to get really busy and I'm not going to have time to run, and then I'll be really unfit. So I would say yes now, but I don't know how I'll feel in about June, August time.
What is the new album?
The new album is going to be, I suppose, what people will expect, but obviously, I'm learning so much more. I learned so much off the back of Pop Star Opera Star as well about my voice, and I feel like I've finally found my feet in terms of me job now. I was very young when I won the X Factor, and now I know what I'm doing. I'm a lot more experienced. This is the 4th album, if you can believe it. So it's going to be kind of the modern pop ballads, but with a little Joe McElderry touch on them, let's say.
I'd love to hear you do one of my favourite songs. Do you know the song called Forever Young?
Yes. Do you know I recorded that for my first album, but we never used it?
Oh, why?
It just didn't. We didn't end up putting it on.
Right.
But it was kind of like a dance version of Forever Young, and we never used it. But so you never know. It might reappear at some point in my career.
Do the big ballad version.
It's a beautiful song, isn't it?
Yeah, great song. I have to ask you as well, did you watch The Voice at the weekend?
Do you know, every person that's interviewed me has asked me this question.
Well, they will do. I'm sorry to be so predictable, but
I just think people are dying for me to say that I think it's better than Britain's Got Talent. I think that's what they're dying for us to say, but no, I didn't say either. I'm a massive fan of both. I've seen the American version of The Voice, and I do love them both, and I'm actually quite gutted they're both on at the same time because I really want to watch them both.
Haven't you got Sky Plus?
Well, I do, but I like to watch it when it's on TV. If I'm not working, I like to sit on a Saturday night before I go out or whatever and watch them. I want to watch them when it's happening. And I can't because they're both on at the same time. But, having said that, I think if The Voice was around when I did X Factor, I would have considered it as much as considering the X Factor because I think it's a great show.
If you had the choice as one of them as your mentor, if you like, who have we got? Tom Jones, Jessie J, will.i.am, and some Irish bloke at the end. Which one would you choose?
I really, really like Danny Donahue from The Script.
That's him. I
really like him. I think he's got an incredible voice. I love Jessie J. I think Tom Jones has probably got the best experience for my voice, vocally and musically. I would say Tom Jones. He's probably, he's the ultimate.
We're talking to Joe McElderry. This is the song that we just mentioned that he said he's already recorded. It's a fabulous song called Forever Young, Alphaville, and more with Joe McElderry coming next on BBC Newcastle, radio for the North East. Interesting that Joe McElderry's already recorded his version of that. I wonder if he'll put it on his new album. Joe is my guest on the show this afternoon. You're listening to BBC Newcastle, radio for the North East. So Ina Sharples, Ken Barlow, David Platt and Joe McElderry? Yes, the pint-sized South Shields singer is treading the Corrie cobbles, not in Weatherfield, but here in the North East. How? I'll let him tell you.
It's basically the musical of Coronation Street. Now, I'm very excited about this because I'm a huge fan of the show. And it's called The Street of Dreams. Paul O'Grady's going to be kind of the main character, and he's going to take you through the journey of past and present characters of Coronation Street, and I suppose the story from beginning to where we are now. I mean, it's a historical show in television history, I think, and you know, I've been a big fan of it since I was about 4 years old. I've watched it with family, and up until now, I still watch it now when I get the chance. So to be a part of the musical side of it, I think, because I'm a singer, is really exciting, and I'm going to basically sing the finale song at the end. I'm not acting it, I'm just singing.
Right.
And I'm going to be the kind of the big finale singer, I suppose you would call me.
I can imagine you doing that. That'll be great. How did you get to be involved in the first place, Joe?
I got asked by the producers and directors of the show and Coronation Street if I would take part. And, you know, I suppose everybody always says to me, they always go, are you going to do musical theatre? We really think you should do musical theatre.
Well, I've asked you that, and you've always said no, haven't you?
Well, yeah, and I think that because I'm such a fan of this show, and it's not actually, what I'm doing is not musical theatre in the show, I'm literally just performing. It's a little, I suppose, dip of the toe in the musical theatre world, and I'm actually just a massive fan of the show, to be honest, so it's great to be a part of it.
Is it right that earlier today you've been on the cobbles of Coronation Street?
I've been on the cobbles all morning.
What do you do?
I've been watching Dev throw a tantrum about something. I don't know what, but he was filming something and he was throwing a tantrum about it, so I don't know what it was.
He's always throwing tantrums recently, though, isn't he?
It was honestly, I get to meet so many amazing people and like really famous people with my job. And I never ask people for pictures. I'm always quite professional. But I was running around with me BlackBerry all over the set taking pictures like a fanatical fan.
Who did you get?
Well, I was taking pictures of me on the set.
Oh right, I thought you meant with people.
Well, I met the thing is they're literally filming constantly. So I was like, excuse me, can I have a picture with you?
Well, you know what it's like, don't you? When you're busy doing something, you don't necessarily want the camera poking in your face.
Yeah, well, they're in the middle of scenes, so I think I probably would have got blasted off the director if I'd have just walked in and been like, "Hi, Dev, fancy a pic?"
So you had fun, yeah?
I did. It was great.
What kind of music are you listening to these days?
Oh, God. Well, with this being in the studio, I'm kind of listening to all sorts at the minute to get ideas of what I want my album to sound like. And shall I tell you who I absolutely love at the minute is Lady Antebellum.
Oh, yeah?
Absolutely incredible.
It's a bit country-ish, isn't it?
I'm a massive fan of country and western. I love Emily Sandé at the minute. I'm loving her new album. Adele, obviously, is the obvious one.
Do you know, if you like country music, you'll like Dolly Parton, yeah?
I do like Dolly Parton, yeah.
They're doing a Dolly Parton musical. She's written it, and it's coming to Sunderland, I noticed today.
Are you trying to say that I could be Dolly Parton?
Now that I would pay to see. And more with my guest, Mr. Joe McElderry, in the next 10 minutes. He's heading to Coronation Street. Well, kind of. Very warm, lots of sunshine with a gentle... Is Joe McElderry, South Shield's former X Factor winner whose career has gone from strength to strength. Now he's heading to the arena. This is going to be in May in Newcastle. Not to do his own show, but as part of a musical celebration of Coronation Street. Coronation Street, the musical. Now, here's the thing, right? Joe had already told me that he was a massive fan of Coronation Street, okay? So I thought, well, let's put him to the test. This is what happened. Please do play along at home. Question number 1 for Joe McElderry on our show, who's appearing in Corrie the Musical when it comes to the arena. In this current storyline, where has Rosie gone?
Didn't you go to London to be a model or something?
Yes, we'll give you that. She went to London to take part in a reality TV show.
Okay.
Same kind of thing. Well done. Question 2. What is the name of Maria Connor's son?
Maria Connor's son is called... Oh, my God. Come on, that's hard. Is it Zach?
No.
Oh, Finn. No.
Are you sure you don't know?
No, I don't know. I really don't know. Liam. All right, okay.
Okay. Question 3. What does Emily drink if she has alcohol in the Rovers? She always asks for the same drink. Which one is it?
Does she drink, is it a gin and tonic?
No, that's Rita.
How do you know all these?
Because I'm a big fan of it too.
Okay,
Think a small drink that older people do.
A sherry.
Yes!
She always asks for a sherry.
A sweet sherry, to be precise.
Sweet sherry.
Have a sweet sherry, please. It must be very expensive, for a pensioner. to always be drinking. You'd think she'd be down Aldi and get a bottle, wouldn't you? Than nipping in the Rovers every time she wants a sweet sherry.
Well, that's Emily for you.
Question 4. If you take a teaspoon and look at your face in the back of it, which Coronation Street character will you most look like?
So this is basically, I'm just going to tell you who I look like in Coronation Street.
Now, you've got a teaspoon, right?
Yes.
Or a dessert spoon. And you look at your face. Have you never looked at your face in the back of a spoon?
It's not something I really do.
You've got to try. You haven't lived till you've looked at your face in the back.
If I had a spoon in this radio interviewing room now, I would do it, but I haven't.
Which Coronation Street character would you most look like if you looked at your face in the back of a spoon?
Right, well, let's think of what it does. Does it make... So it's going to make your face look big, isn't it?
Mm.
Or your nose look big?
Mm. Kind of.
Who do it...
The answer is Gail.
Gail? Oh. All right, okay, yeah, I get
and
that.
And finally, Tracy Barlow has done time in prison. What for?
Didn't she murder somebody?
Yes.
She did, didn't she?
Remember who she murdered?
Didn't she hit the builder? Is it
yes.
Charlie? She
yes.
hit Charlie, didn't she?
Yes.
See,
well
I
done.
told you I was good.
Well done, you are good. You have confirmed that you are a genuine fan of Coronation Street.
Massive.
Joe, thank you for coming on to talk to us.
It's a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Joe McElderry. Cheers.
All right, see you, bye. Bye.